How often do you sit there and just hate yourself for not accomplishing that task yet? And mate, why are you never content with the direction your life is going? Well, I found out that the answers to these questions aren't complicated, but it is the way that the majority of people think, and it is the reason for why a lot of people are never satisfied with their lives. However, all it takes is some small mindset changes to completely change your ways and actually feel more than satisfied with whatever the outcome of your journey is. So basically bro, up until about 8 weeks ago, all I wanted to do was win my first ever boxing fight. And for me to do this, I initially believed that focusing on the fight only pretty much had to be my sole focus. But very soon I realised how wrong I was to do this. I spent so much time thinking about winning that I actually somewhat began hating training. And every time I was unhappy with how a training session went, I would literally imagine myself getting knocked out in front of all my friends and family, which obviously isn't an ideal mentality to have. But it happened, and it got to a point where I was pretty much just so close from not doing the fight altogether. I literally started to be ungrateful for the adventure that I was on, and I neglected the mindset of just being grateful for the fact that I was physically fit enough to be able to train in the first place. And all of my mental energy was placed upon winning on fight night, so I knew that something had to change up here, and thankfully it did. But before I tell you what, let me just say this, because now that that particular goal has been achieved and the high of winning has not gone away but been somewhat pushed aside, I've found myself trying to search for that next something to achieve. And if I wasn't completely mindful about this and I didn't take the steps to shift my focus onto the things that I'm grateful about, I'd probably be quite a miserable person right now, constantly focusing on my goals, and what I don't yet have just me up. But in general, this is just such a common issue amongst men in today's society. I know firsthand that it can make you feel like you're not good enough, and like you're not progressing in any way, and like you're not as good as bloody Socrates from down the road. But to be honest mate, I think you deserve to feel like that if you're not being mindful of your thoughts. And that might sound quite harsh, but I think that as men sometimes we need to hear the harsh reality in order to make some kind of change. And by not making these changes, which are pretty simple to implement by the way, I just feel like it's always going to be pretty difficult to feel good about yourself. So what are the things that you should be doing to feel better about not being where you want to be yet? Well, first of all bro, you want to make an intention of focusing on the present moment as often as you can. Take note of your surroundings, take note of the things you can hear and the things that you can see. Consciously listen to your breathing, consciously look at all the amazing things that you have in your room beside you. You know, these things, loads of things, bloody mouse, you know. All these things that you possess are gratifying and you should acknowledge them frequently. This is going to help you to completely just forget about the fact that you're not where you want to be yet, and will put your mind at ease and allow you to somewhat reset yourself. And actually, this is a form of meditation. You don't have to do the standard, you know, sit down and arms out here sort of thing for it to be a proper meditation, although I'd still recommend doing that. But yeah, that's the first thing that I would suggest. I would also recommend beginning gratitude journaling, and if you don't know what this is or want to know how I do it, I'll leave a link to a video that I made about it in the description below. But in short, gratitude journaling is where you take out 2 minutes of each day to write down the things that you are grateful for. So for me, it might be that I have this microphone because it means that you can hear me clearly, or it might be that I have this PC in front of me because it allows me to create videos, or that I'm wearing comfortable slippers because, you know, it allows me to keep my piggies toasty. And essentially what this does is over time is rewire your brain to be at peace with the fact that you haven't reached your goal yet, because of the fact that you have all these other amazing things that you should be grateful for. I'm not saying it isn't important to set goals, but you've got to think, what is the point in setting goals for the future if when you get there you're not going to be in the present moment for it? And straight away just start focusing on your next destination. This is the kind of mindset that will leave you feeling unfulfilled throughout your life, and you will never be satisfied. So make it your intention to be satisfied with whatever situation you are in right now. To grow your mindset even more, click on this video here or click on the link in the description below. Believe you can, and you're more than halfway there.